Good morning, world. It is Thursday, April 27th, 2023, and it is looking out the window at Defiance. It's a beautiful sunny day this morning. Cold again. It was 32 when I got up this morning, but I think it's supposed to be in the low to mid 60s today. So a kind of a nice spring day, although I think there may be some clouds coming this afternoon, but it's not supposed to rain, I don't think, until tomorrow. I'm going to do something a little different today and read today from a devotional book I have called Rise Up, Spirituality for Resistance. It was put out by the UCC, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago. And I'll read a devotion from there. The devotion is entitled Bread, written by Miran Tirabassi. And Miran bases the devotion upon Matthew chapter 15, verse 36. Jesus took the 7 loaves and the fish, and after giving thanks, broke them and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. And then Miran writes, a woman gave me her Uncle Gunnar's flag. He was an Olympic skier for Norway, never a medalist. When he immigrated to the United States, he was so homesick he bought a full-size Norwegian flag, now in the corner of my living room, and marched with it on Leif Erikson Day. Gunnar's story came with the flag. His family owned a bakery in Oslo. They would bake loaves halfway, hollow out a space for messages from the resistance during World War II, and then put them back in the oven. Gunnar, 10 years old, would ride his bike to deliver bread to those who waited. We are people of flags and bread. Each of us needs something to hold or hug or wave so we remember the people and places we love. When I finger my grandma's locket or stick a magnet on my grandson's refrigerator art, I remind myself of the community for whom I march or vigil, for whom I compose each email, phone call, letter, post. Touching some tattered memorabilia of the heart changes everything for me. But taste is even more personal than touch. When I eat with someone beyond my community, Nan or Kub Sarabi or Baba or Banak or Hoe Cake, Inira or Pan Dulce, something holy is broken into miracle multiplication. And I always find messages of resistance baked warm and risky into communion. Communion feeds me, not with mystical metaphor, but gluten-free local church, crumbs on the carpet bread. And Marin's prayer. God nourish me, so sometimes I may sit on the ground and be fed, and sometimes I may be the kid on the bicycle heading to the next upper room. Amen. Well, a couple things for me for this devotion is, I guess I'm very connected with food, and I often connect places and events also with memories of food, places I've been, and the food that I ate, and the people who served it. I'll bring rich memories back to me. Times with my family, Christmas Eves, when we all got together and shared a meal, either that my mom in her younger days would cook all herself, and when she was older we would do a kind of a potluck thing. And so much is connected through the things on our plates. But I also think, just this devotion reminding me of the things that we have and touch and remember, whether it's a photograph, an icon, a medal, a trinket, something from someone that we've loved, or a place that we've been, and brings the memories all back. And for me, that's kind of what communion is about. Even though I've grown up Catholic, I'm not really a believer in the transubstantiation, that it physically becomes the body of Christ. But I think in eating together, in communing together, we are reminded that we are interconnected and that we are one body through Christ. And by eating the bread and drinking the wine or the grape juice, we are reminded again of our connection with those early disciples and with Jesus himself. And perhaps even just taking in Jesus as we eat that, because it's not that we're physically eating Jesus to me, but that in remembering, we find him within ourselves as an inspiration to go out into the world and continue to live and love and have compassion, just as he did in living God's love in his life. So that's my thoughts for today. Hope you can join us on Sunday for worship, and either live or live on Facebook Live. But we certainly welcome you to come and join us in our worship space. And I guess whether we're virtual or in person. So I hope you have a good day and a good weekend, and hope to talk to you soon.